Welcome to There's a Book in My Nook, and my first book that I'm going to talk about this week is Girl of Nightmares by Kendare Blake. And this is the second in the Anna Dressed in Blood series. I've already reviewed the first one a while back. I really liked this series.
What was the first one called?
Anna Dressed in Blood. And this is about Cass. And in the first one, I don't know how much I should give away, but I guess spoiler alert is what I'll say. So if you haven't read the first one, maybe you shouldn't listen to this. This takes off right where the first one ends, and this is where Anna, who's basically a ghost, has saved Cass's life, but she has been sent down to hell. And he is now tortured by the fact that she gave up herself for him and to save him. And he starts having nightmares of Anna being tortured and all these awful things happening to her. And Cass is a ghost hunter. His job is to go after bad ghosts that are tormenting other people, killing other people, and to send them away. He has this it's kind of like a, it's not really it's kind of like a knife, kind of like a dagger, and it has the ability to, when he slices them, it disintegrates them and sends them back to where they're supposed to be. Some people do go on to heaven because they've been under a curse or there's been some reason. Others obviously go to hell. Anna was under a curse, so what she was doing should not have sent her there, but she was sent there because she was attached to a bad ghost, and he kind of like drug her with him. So now Cass has decided there's got to be some way to get her to where she should be, that she shouldn't be tormented like this. And his two friends, Thomas is, his grandfather is big into voodoo. So he's, I guess, like a male witch is what you would say. And then there's Carmel, and Carmel is their friend. She's a girl, and she doesn't have any abilities. She's kind of like just tags along because she's dating Thomas and she's friends with Cass. Well, as Cass starts digging deeper, people he finds out are hiding things from him, and they really don't want him to mess around and sending...
I'm so confused here.
Okay.
Are we talking, are all these people spirits of sort, or are these humans?
The only one they're humans. The only one that is a ghost is Anna, and she's the girl on the front, and she's...
But a human is a ghost killer?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Cass.
Okay.
And he fell in love with Anna. When he thought she was bad, he was going to get rid of her. But then he found out that she was under a curse in the first book, so he got the curse broken, and everything was good, and she became a good spirit,
Okay.
and they kind of like fell in love.
So are these high schooler people?
17, getting ready to
Okay.
late high school. Like, I think they're senior. They just are going into their senior year.
Okay.
And well, that's Carmel, Thomas, and Cass.
Okay.
So they've decided that they're trying to help save Anna and get her from heaven to hell. But that means finding a way down into hell.
Get her from hell to go
Hell
to
heaven. Sorry,
Yeah.
that came out really wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, from hell to heaven. But in order to do that, they've got to go to hell, and nobody wants them to do that. So they're not sharing information on how you can breach that portal.
Okay.
So he ends up finding out that his mentor, who is in England, is hiding a lot of secrets about where this dagger came from, about the whole, I don't know how to say it, generation of him being a ghost hunter, because his dad was before him and his dad before him. This is something that's been passed down. So they travel over to England in this one to try and save Anna. And I'm not going to tell you about all the secrets. I had no idea that there was so much. This has got a lot of like political, when I mean political, I mean like supernatural political, I guess you could say, like cult activity, a lot of like, I don't know how to say it, just a lot of history, and you find out all sorts of stuff. I really liked it. The way it ended, I'm thinking there's not going to be a third book, but I read somewhere that there is, so I'm not for sure if there's going to be a third one or not. The way it ended, there wouldn't have to be a third book. But who knows? Sometimes that happens. But I really liked it. I think it's a really good supernatural. I mean, I will say that the first one especially was very gory. So if you don't like blood and guts, gore, maybe not the book for you, but I liked that about it. And if you like scary ones and you think that another one that you would like, obviously there's Carrie, Stephen King classic. I mean, if you don't know the story of Carrie, this is also about a girl, and she's tormented all through high school by her classmates. Her mom is horrible to her, mistreats her, and you find out that Carrie is telekinetic. And that means that she can move things with her mind. Well, the conclusion of the book, I could say, happens at prom, and Carrie unleashes all of her pent up anger and through telekinetics takes revenge on her classmates. Also bloody, but a great book, great
Great book.
movie, great story.
I didn't like the movie, but the
I
book
like
was
the
very
original movie with
Sissy
Sissy
Spacek.
Spacek. Yeah,
Mhm.
I did. So this is a really good one if you like scary ones. And another one, we do have it, but it's checked out. And this is Bad Girls Don't
good.
Die.
That one looks good.
And there's two in this. We have both of them. There's Bad Girls Don't Die, and I can't think of what the second one is. I don't think I have it down here. Maybe it didn't print. Bad Girls Don't Die is, okay, it's about this girl, her name's Alexis, and her little sister is Casey. And I can't think, I keep wanting to say Casey's around 12, but I'm not for sure. Like I said, I haven't read this whole book. And Casey is...
What do you mean you haven't read it? You started it and stopped?
I
or-
started, but this was just a recommendation based on the others. It's
Okay.
not the main one I read this week.
I see.
So, but I kind of read, when I started trying to find books that were similar, and I picked this one up and kind of started reading it, so now I probably will finish it because it's really good. Casey starts acting strange, and she starts becoming kind of angry, and her eyes change color, and it's all connected with this older house that they moved into, and basically Casey is possessed by a ghost. And it's her sister to try and figure out, can she save her or what's going on. Looks really scary. I think the picture's really creepy.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, there is a second book. So I'm gonna finish it. I'll let you know how it turns out. But this is another one if you like scary ones that I thought sounded pretty good. And now over to you.
Okay. Well, speaking of scary,
Oh,
we all know what it's like to start school.
well, I guess for some people that is scary.
Well, kids who are starting a new grade or maybe even starting a new
It's
school.
kind of scary for parents sometimes too when their kids go to school.
Right, especially when they're starting kindergarten.
Or high school.
Or high school. But the name of this book is, it's one of the Berenstein Bears books, and it's called Trouble at School. And it is by Stan and Jan Berenstein, and it's in our children's department. And we are featuring a bunch of books of back to school. This has to do with, I guess they just call him Brother.
Yeah,
Brother
it is
Bear.
Brother.
Yeah. You know, I've never read any of the Berenstein
Oh, my
books.
kids loved them. We had tons of them.
I am starting to feel like my childhood was, I don't know.
Well, I
feel
didn't have them
deprived.
when I
think
was a kid. My kids had them.
My kids didn't even have them.
So your kids were deprived, not you.
I guess so.
You were a bad parent.
I,
I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm starting to feel
Yeah,
this
we
way.
had a huge stack of these.
Wow.
Mhm.
Anyway, Brother Berenstein or Brother Bear?
Just Brother Bear.
Okay,
Mhm.
Brother Bear comes home from school, and this will relate to come this winter when your kids start coming home from school with colds and things like that. Anyway, he comes home from school with a cold, and the mother bear calls the doctor, and immediately he tells him to go put the brother into bed and not to send him back to school until his fever is at a normal temperature. Okay, well, of course, he at first kind of doesn't like it because he feels so miserable. But then as he starts to feel a little bit better, but he still has the temperature, they start bringing the TV up for him to watch. They, give him, special things to eat and all that kind of stuff. Well, his sister one day brings home homework that he is supposed to do while he is sick before he goes back to school. He's having so much fun, he doesn't even want to worry about school. And also in the meantime, he's on the soccer team. Well, the coach, can't hold practice without him, but he has somebody else fill in. His cousin fills in for him while he's out sick. Well, the day he goes back to school, they have a pop quiz on the division that he was supposed to be doing that was sent home. Fails, does horrible. And not to mention, the coach is so used to this other cousin bear filling in with soccer that he decides to continue to use him as practice. So Brother Bear's thinking, well, this is not good. Well, when he gets his quiz back, of course it says very poor, must be signed by parents.
Uh-oh.
He's not going, because he doesn't want his parents to know that he didn't do his homework. So of course he, when the next day when he's supposed to bring it back, he decides to ditch school, and he makes his report into a paper airplane. So he goes up on this ledge, and as soon as he lets the airplane go, he looks down and it's going right towards his grandma and grandpa's house. So he figures, oh no, what am I going to do? He decides to go to his grandma and grandpa's house, and you'll have to read the book to find out if he gets in trouble or does he somehow get out of trouble.
Yeah, I loved this because they all had messages.
Right.
They're all different messages for kids.
Right. And yeah, you'll have to, I'll just tell you the message is basically the message is you need to fess up to your mistake. If you're going down the wrong road, don't continue going down that wrong road. Back up, go down the right road before you get too far down the road.
Caught up in it.
Yeah, where there's sometimes no return.
We're going to have sound effects in this video. You can hear all the thunder behind us. So I guess since I was doing scary ones, that's when we needed the thunder. I can still hear it. Okay, my next book is The Art of Secrets by James Clyce. And let's see. This one is a little bit different. It's nothing scary. I can find what I wrote about it so I can jog my memory. There it is. Okay, this is about this girl at school. I think she's maybe a junior, maybe sophomore, junior, something like that. And that was a loud one. And her name is Saba, and she is Middle Eastern. And while she's at a tennis match, her apartment burns to the ground, and they lose everything, and they did not have any sort of insurance. So they are having to rely on the generosity of other people for someplace to stay and so forth. Well, she goes to a private school that her parents have, they use a lot of their income to send her to this school so she'll get a good education. Really loud again. Wow. And it's kind of like becomes a whirlwind there where everybody wants to help Saba. She instantly was just kind of a normal, under-the-radar girl. Now she's popular. Everybody wants to help her. One of the classmates' parents own a huge penthouse, and they let them live in it for a year rent-free. They decide people are donating clothes, all sorts of things. Well, then a couple of the kids there, they decide to have a fundraiser. And also this book is written, you can see, it's written from the point of view of like 5 different people, and it goes back and forth, back and forth. Some are done by, I don't know if you can see that, some are done by interviews, some are done by like letters. It's really written kind of like, it's not like a normal book where you're reading like somebody's thoughts. This is done differently. And Saba really isn't that, she's not really for sure what to do about all the attention. It's kind of overwhelming. Then one of the most popular boys in the school, he decides he's going to date her. That he thinks that will help him become even more popular if he dates her because of everything going on with her. And for the fundraiser, the brother and sister, they're going around the neighborhood, and since they live in an upscale neighborhood, they're seeing if they can find things that people are putting by the curb, and they're going to sell them at this auction, like paintings and stuff. Well, they find this book of like watercolors, and the art teacher recognizes it as being done by this really famous painter. So is it a she or a he? I can't remember if the art teacher's a man or a woman. It's a man. It is a man. I had to think for a second. The art, because he has a French name, and so it was, at first I was like, he admits that, hey, this is by this great artist. I think we need to bring an art appraiser in. So they bring in an art appraiser, and this art appraiser says it's worth like a couple $1 million. So now there's this big, huge thing where it's being wrote about, and people are going to come to this auction. They get the insurance claim in so that it's protected, and then it goes missing.
Dun, dun, dun.
So now here, Saba and her family thought they were going to be set. Now it's missing. So they're trying to figure out, because it's been internally done. Someone in the school has taken it. So they're trying to find out who took it and whether they even can have an auction. And the rest of it goes around about being accusations. People are accusing the art teacher. Someone is accusing another teacher. Someone is accusing certain kids. And at the end, it was, I never would have guessed this in a billion years. It's a lot more complicated than you think than it just being stolen. So I have to admit the book is a little slow in the beginning for me. The going back and forth different ways from different people, I found a little, It was hard for me to get into it. But once the art got stolen, then I wanted to find out who it was, and then it was a really fast read from then on. And then, like I said, the ending totally blew my mind. It was very well thought and very different. And this is by James Clyce. I don't know if I said that, also in our young adult department. And some other books, if you like this kind of secret, sort of sabotage sort of thing. This is a new one. It just came in. I have not read it, but I've heard great stuff about it. And it's called The Vigilante Poets of Selwyn Academy. And this is by Kate Hattemer. And this is about these three friends, and they're doing a reality TV show called For Art's Sake at their school. They think it's ridiculous, and they're going to bring down this show and show that it's not really reality, it's all staged, until one of the boys ends up getting chosen to be on the show. Then he's not so for sure he wants to take it down anymore. But as they go along the way, they discover that the principal, the vice principal, even one of their favorite teachers is all involved in this scheme and in this reality show and what's going on. So it's another one of kind of deal with a high school and a mystery kind of scheme sort of thing. So this one I thought sounded different and pretty good. Another one is We Are the Goldens. This is also a new release. This is by Dana Reinhardt. We just got this in the young adult. This is about two sisters that have always been very close. The older sister starts acting a little unusual. The younger sister wants to find out what's going on. She finds out that the secret is her older sister is sleeping with one of her teachers and that she's supposedly in love with him. She's got to decide. She knows it's not right and she should really blow the whistle on her sister, but her sister, she knows, will be devastated, and she knows there's going to be consequences for everybody when this comes out. So this is about that story. Kind of a, I know, a touchy subject, but you know, it has happened. We've read about it in the press.
Yeah.
It's been there. So, and I think, to be honest, it happened more even in the years past than I think even more than now. It seems like they kind of monitor and watch it, but years ago this happened even more. So I thought it was an interesting subject, and it's another one about secrets and how they can destroy everybody. So those are my picks.
Interesting.
Back to you. Some very different. I'm kind of all over this week.
19 million more to add to my list. I'm going to be reading till.
So you're buried.
Something like that. On my tombstone, there'll be a book.
Yeah.
An open book. Unfinished.
Unfinished.
My juvenile pick this week is Chomp by Carl Hyacin. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not either if it's Hyacin or Hyacin.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, this has to do, it's a very, very cute book.
Hold it up. There's the alligator. You couldn't see it at first.
Oh, okay.
Now you can put it down, but so everybody can see that there is an alligator.
Yeah, there is an alligator.
It just looked like a yellow
this
book.
way. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, this has to do with, there is this man, his name is Derek Badger, and he does a reality show called The Expedition Survival. It's sort of like Survivor, but this is just one person. It's not a team sort of thing. And he's supposed to go, he goes to these exotic locations and he's supposed to figure out a way to survive. He doesn't go in with any food. He doesn't go in with anything except for, like, I think a pocket knife or something like that. And he's supposed to find a way to survive. Well, he wants to do a show down in Florida in the Everglades. And his producers, I don't want to try, I'm trying to think of a way to not give it away.
I know. I've read this book, and I know it's going to be hard to do that.
Yes. And the producers just think that maybe he ought to do maybe a little bit of practicing before he goes out into the Everglades.
Yeah.
And so they contact this guy. His name is Mickey Cray, and he is a professional animal wrangler. And he has like a whole cast of animals in his backyard that he takes care of. He has one that I think her name is Alice, and it's an alligator. And so these producers come to him and they say, hey, we'd also like you to consult on the show, but as a kind of test drive, can we have Derek come and wrestle one of your alligators so that he can kind of get a taste of what to expect. And Mickey Cray at first is like, oh no, I'm not, because he's very, very particular about how people treat his animals. And he's like, oh, I don't know, because he's watched the show and he kind of suspects that this guy isn't on the up and up, that he's not really what you see on TV. But he goes ahead and decides to do it. Well, Derek comes over, and Derek and Mickey Cray has also done other shows for other people, and they've used his backyard. So he has set his backyard up to look like the Everglades. And so, okay, so they come and they bring Derek, and Derek gets in the water with Alice, and he's just not very happy because Alice is a very laid-back alligator. She's been taught not to chomp, and she's been really taught not to fight. Well, Derek is just very upset, and he wants some action. So he decides to get on her back and ride her like a horse, basically. Well, Alice does not put up with that. So the next thing you know, as most alligators will do, their instinct is to turn, is to rotate, roll. Well, they do that, and Derek gets a little more action than he bargains for, and of course the producers go berserk. And after looking at the footage back in his air-conditioned trailer, Derek is just absolutely excited by how realistic it looks and how he was almost in danger. And so he decides, I'm going to go out into the Everglades and I'm really going to do this. I am going to do this for real. Well, they want Mickey Cray to go along just in case Derek gets into a little problems. And you'll have to read it, because not only does Derek get into a situation that he really cannot get out of, it just proves that, well, let me back up just a little bit. Mickey Cray is also suffering from his own kind of condition where Florida experienced like a freeze. And these iguanas were up in these trees and whatever, and they froze to death. Well, Mickey Cray happened to be standing underneath a tree, and an iguana fell on his head and gave him a concussion. Because I guess it was a pretty big iguana. It was like frozen stiff, and it gave him a concussion. So, of course, Mickey Cray is, complaining of all these headaches and stuff. So when he is allowed to go out to consult on this show, not only does Derek experience more than he can, or he chews off more than he, what is that?
He bites off more than he can chew.
Mickey Cray also gets a chance to come back to the Mickey Cray he used to be before he got a concussion.
By a frozen iguana.
Yes. And it is just a very, very, very cute book.
And he's written lots of others.
He's written another one called Scat and Hoot, and I imagine, I haven't read them, but I imagine they're about, Flush. Mm-hmm. I imagine they're about animals too. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if they have to necessarily do with Mickey Cray or not, if he's in them or not.
I don't think so.
I'm not 100%
I'm not so sure on that
either.
I'll
have to read another one and tell you. Are you done?
I'm done.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Also, the movie I watched, and let me tell you, people, I don't know how I'm going to explain this movie. It is one of the most bizarre movies I have ever watched in my life. I don't know if you guys watched my review of Atlantis, because Atlantis was like, was it Atlantis? No, it wasn't Atlantis. It was Atlanta. The one with Halle Berry in it. And what was his name that played in Philadelphia and Big? Tom Hanks. Has Tom Hanks
that
in
wasn't Atlanta. What was that?
It was something. Atlantic or Atlantic.
I don't know what that was, but yeah, everybody was connected.
Yeah, and it went through like 7 generations, and how it basically goes back to where we started with caveman and all this other stuff. Well, this is called Transcendence. And of course, when I heard it starred Johnny Depp in it, I thought, oh, well, this movie's going to be perfect. No. I don't even remember seeing this advertised.
I do, yes.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
I must have missed it. Anyway, Johnny Depp plays this scientist / professor, because he's called doctor. And through technology, he believes that we can transcend this universe. Meaning we can download all of our cognitive
thoughts and beliefs and morals. Mm-hmm.
And everything that we feel, whatever, into technology. So that basically, when we pick up a piece of technology, we don't even have to think. It just does everything for us, and it just and it will connect us all even more. Meaning, like if I'm in one city and my husband's in another city, I can know his thoughts, his feelings that far away. Or if you have family that lives on the other side of the world, you can be connected and know exactly what they're feeling, what they're
It's a
sensing.
little too much for
Yeah,
me.
it is. And that's what it is. It's basically to connect us all through information and through these computers. Well, there is this group that wants to protest this, that they're protesting technology, period. They think we're way too connected to our phones, we're way too connected through the internet, and that they want to get back to more people being people.
People skills.
And so they set up this guy to come to a seminar that he's giving. And they give this guy this bullet that has radiation in it so that he shoots the professor and the professor ends up dying. But before
Were they trying to kill him?
they wanted to purposely kill him because
Wow.
they think if they kill him, then that will stop this.
Cycle.
Will stop him
From inventing this.
from going any further with
Wow.
what he wants to do. However, before he dies, he has his wife download his everything into a computer. Well, the computer, through this computer, once he's into the internet, he is able to go to all the internet throughout the world, and he starts mind controlling people.
But he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead, but he's working through this computer system that they were working on
Okay.
before he died. And he is now sending these people that have anything wrong with them, like they're blind. He has them come and he's able to restore their sight through these robots. But
Okay.
when he restores them, they take a little bit of his cognitive whatever into their bodies.
Okay.
So then this lab, the people who are trying to stop all this decide that they need to destroy the lab, which will mean destroying him. And you'll have to watch it to see, because then his wife intercedes. And you'll have to see whether the protest group is able to convince her that, you know what, this isn't good.
Right,
This
yeah.
isn't good. You need to do something now. But you'll have to watch it to see if they're able to convince her.
Sounds kind of confusing.
It's a 2-hour-long movie. It only got like 6.4 out of 10, and I'm telling you, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it till literally I looked it up on the computer and read the plot.
Then you understood it.
So basically, watch it, or
Read this
what
plot
I want to
first.
say is read the plot first, then watch it, and then you'll have a better understanding of what the
What's
movie
going
is
on.
about. Because at first, after about the first 15 minutes of it, I was falling asleep. I was
So I
like,
keep yawning now. Maybe it's just
yes.
even hearing about it.
Yes,
Whoa.
it's because it's so technological, and they talk about all this stuff that I have absolutely no
I
clue
might
what they're
enjoy
talking-
that, though,
You might,
actually,
you might,
'cause-
because they're talking about nano stuff
Yeah.
and
So,
just a lot of
me and
electronic
Dalton
stuff
might
that-
have maybe a
Yes.
movie for the two of us to watch.
It was just way over my head, and so therefore I was like, okay. It didn't get really good until like the last 5 minutes of the movie. And then like I said, I didn't really understand the last 5 minutes until I read the plot.
Could have been because you slept through part of it.
It could be. I might have. I don't know. Well, I take that back, because as the movie was starting, and it was probably in about the first 10 minutes, our power went out.
I'm sorry, I didn't re-say that.
Yeah. So the power went out, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe, I didn't really know what the movie was about, but now hindsight being 2020, I'm thinking, oh, maybe it was too technologically advanced for my TV. I don't know. Anyway, blew a fuse. Anyway, it kind of woke me up, and then therefore I was able to,
Focus.
sit through the movie. I'll put it to you this way. I sat through the movie. I watched it, but like I said, didn't understand it. Okay, and keeping up with our music. Got a new radio song, Stay With Me by Sam Smith. The album is, I can't remember, The Longest Hour or something like that. I don't like the song.
Really?
Have you heard it?
Uh-uh.
I don't like it. First of all, he's British or something, and I cannot understand a word of it. And it's like you take Justin Bieber, who sings high, this guy is like 10 times higher. Horrible. I don't want to say it's horrible. It's just not my kind of song. It's just, the
Somebody
video is
must like it.
horrible. The video is horrible.
Somebody must like it.
Somebody likes it in order to make it the #1 radio song. I don't know. I just didn't like it. It's just like a grown-up Justin Bieber, in my opinion. Country, Burning It Down still with Jason Aldean. We do have this in our system. All of them, well, I take that back. 1 of 5 is still left in the system. There's 5 in the system.
Now, is that through
Only
Hoopla
one.
or that through the actual system?
That's actually through the system. I don't check Hoopla.
Okay.
I guess I need to start checking Hoopla. Burning It Down with Jason Aldean is the top country song. We do not have this in our system. You might want to check Hoopla, or you can check outside the system. Maybe somebody has it. Pop is Rude by Magic. And hip hop is Still Fancy. 24 weeks in a row.
Wow.
It has never been anything but number one.
We've been talking
Hip-hop.
about her new song that we do like.
Oh, Black Widow.
We like it. I think
Yes.
I think in a few weeks you're going to see
It
it
is
on
number
there.
3. It is number 3
Yeah.
right now. In the pop
It's with her
or
and Rita Ordaz, I think.
in hip hop. Oh, what's her face? Andrea Grande.
Aria Grande.
Aria Grande. She has a new song out called Bang Bang.
Yes.
Love it.
Have you seen the video?
I think I have. No, I don't think I have. With it's got Jesse James in it, or Jesse J, and Nicki Minaj in it,
Maybe it's not the same
and it also
video.
has Iggy in it. It also has
Maybe
Iggy
it's
in
not
it.
the same video then.
I don't know about
Or
the video,
song.
but I know the song has those people in it.
The video I saw, and it's supposed to be her new video, and I can't remember if it was for this or for something else. It's like takes place in outer space.
Ooh,
It is
no.
very cheesy. I'm sorry, I like her, but I thought the video was so cheesy.
Yeah.
Really cheesy. But I can't remember if it was for this or if it's something else. Keep wanting to say it's this.
I don't know. I haven't. When I go to YouTube, it did not have a video actually per se to watch.
So maybe it's something else that I saw the video for.
Maybe, or maybe I just hadn't watched it at the time the video had come
Yeah.
out or something. I don't know.
I'll have to look and let you know next week if that's the video for it or if it's for something
But yeah,
else.
I really hope Black Widow starts rising,
Yeah, I think
and
it will.
I really hope Bang Bang starts coming up too.
I liked Ariana Grande's last one.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I didn't understand any of the words until the black guy sings the chorus line.
You didn't understand any of the words?
I don't understand any of her words. And you know, they're supposed to be, her and Iggy are supposed to be from Australia, and I can understand perfectly what Iggy's saying. I cannot understand what she's saying at all.
I can't. I don't need trouble.
Gosh.
Mm. Okay, so I guess that finishes it up this week. So those are our books and our movies and our music, and we'll see you back here next week.